LakelandCarKeys.com. We're currently working on a Hyundai Sonata push to start. The customer has one working key, and they supplied their own push to start smart key. So we're gonna go ahead and program it for them. And once the programming is successful, we'll go ahead and cut the emergency blade for them. I'm gonna attempt this one with the Lonzor K518 USA. I really don't use this programmer for a lot, but I want to try to see what all the recent updates they've been doing, what it's capable of doing. Alright, so this vehicle has a build date of December of 2013, so it should be a 2014 model. I am going to get down here and connect our OBD2 port. So, with the Hyundais, they usually have a key programming slot where you have to stick the key in and program it. So I'm not sure if you can see this one here, but that's it right there inside the armrest. And Hyundais usually do what we would consider all keys lost. So we'll have to reprogram both keys. Since I have the program key, I was able to power on the ignition. Let's see if I can get a good angle without some glare. All right, so I'm gonna go into emo and remote, and let's go ahead and search Hyundai. All right, so we got Hyundai. All right, so let's read pin code. All right, so we're gonna read ID 46 smart key, and then so this is one of those things where there's a lot of confusion on what Lonzor is doing. So everyone with the new with the older K518s are supposed to get free lifetime updates and everything, but a lot of functions still are not working. So this is telling me this is a paid function. All right, and then it's telling me to update it, but if there's no more subscriptions, then I should be able to go in and do this, and I can't. And I've updated it, I've done complete updates, system restarts, and so it should have all the latest information, but yet I still cannot get on and do basic features. All right, yep, so it's telling me I'm powered on, got the hazard lights on, and I can't read the pin. So yeah, I mean, and this is some of the reasons why I really don't use this too much, because it's silly. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna switch to another programmer and give this a try. All right, so I switched over to this Topdon T Ninja Pro that I've been testing. This is another limited programmer. I have the Bluetooth dongle plugged in, so we're gonna go ahead and go on to emo, and let me search for Hyundai. All right, so we got Hyundai. I'll select America, and we are in a Sonata. So I am not sure which chassis code this one is. So that's 16 through 19, and it brings us all the way back to the beginning of the, I don't know why, but that's stupid. All right, let's see. Nope. So it's not a hybrid, not a hybrid. All right, so let's try EF. Nope, not EF. LFA. Nope, so we want 2014. I already did enough. All right, so YFA. So here we go. We got YFA 1114. All right, we're gonna select Smart Key, Keyless System, Smart Key Programming. All right, tells us to touch the start button. I'm gonna hit OK. It says turn the ignition off, and the instrument screen will go black. Turn the hazard lights on. All right, so we're gonna turn it off. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick the new smart key, install it. So it hasn't told me yet that, you know, it's erasing all the keys. Normally that's what happens. So I'm gonna just put the new key in first and see what it does. All right, so it wants me to enter the PIN code, but it never brought me through getting the PIN code. So now I gotta go ahead and cancel this. Okay. And our options are Smart Key Programming, ECM Neutral Mode, SMK Neutral Mode, PMD Neutral Mode, Engine VIN Programming, which that's interesting, SMK Status, Fob Key Status, PMD Status, Antenna Status Check, which that's another interesting thing, because a lot of times you get in Hyundais and there's no response from the button. So, and then Help Info. But nowhere in here is the option for getting the PIN number. So I'm going to chalk this up as an L, and then I'll move on to a programmer that I'm sure that can do this, which will be the Autel KM100. All right, so now I got the Autel KM100. I'm going to power back on the ignition. Remove this unprogrammed key so I can power on the ignition, and then we're gonna go into EMO. So we got our VCI connected, Bluetooth. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit auto VIN. So I like the way the Autel's set up, because if I go in and do a mobilizer status scan, it'll give me some basic information about the vehicle. And then if I do, you know, if I select add a key or all keys lost, from that menu, it will, you know, do a smart program where it will automatically start to pull the VIN number. The PIN number. So, all right, so we're gonna go into a mobilizer status scan. All right, so it told me that there was 2 keys programmed. And, you know, this will give you a pretty good indication if anything's in error mode. You know, sometimes it'll give you some codes and let you clear some codes. All right, so right down here we have a read pin option, but I believe if I go into add a key, it will automatically start doing, maybe not, maybe I gotta manually go and read the pin number. All right, so let's see. So it's wants us to turn the ignition off. All right, hazards are on. All right, insert the smart key to be learned into the slot. All right, so yeah, so it wants us to add the pin number in, so it did not automatically read it. So I'm gonna go back, escape out of that, and go down and read pin. You know, depending on the year and model, we're gonna select read pin by OBD. Okay. The hazard lights are on. Okay. Yep. So some cars, you know, it'll give you a message where it says, you know, read and pin will take a long time. Usually these ID46 transponder keys don't take that long to read the program and pin. And say, for instance, if he didn't have the emergency key, or if this was an all keys lost situation, and, you know, I brought the key code from an outside source, it would also give me the program and pin number. So say if I was in a situation, all keys lost, and I brought the key code to cut the blade, got the pin number, then I could have used the Topdon T-Ninja Pro or the Lonzor and just entered the pin number because I already had it on hand. I mean, yes, in theory, I can use my Autel or my Auto Pro pad, you know, something I know that's going to pull the pin number, and, you know, then use another programmer to program it. But, you know, that's kind of silly. You know, sometimes I do it just to see if the programmer could, you know, do the programming. But, I mean, if it can't pull the pin number, then, you know, it's no good to me. All right, so it read the passcode. It will store. I usually take a picture with my phone, but obviously I'm recording at the moment, so I can't do that. So I'm just gonna go ahead, hit OK. All right, so we're gonna go back, and do add a key. Yes. All right, start. Yes. Ignition is off, screen is black. All right, smart key to be learned is in the thing, and it automatically populated our pin number for us. Hit OK. Yes. All right, the key to be learned is already in the slot. All right, and it told me program has succeeded. So, all right. So it did not tell me if this key is still programmed. It also didn't say that it was erasing that key. So I'm gonna just go ahead and hit no. And there we go. So it did erase the original key. You know, usually it gives us some type of warning that it's doing that, but in this case it didn't. So if you're doing add a key in these, always remember to just go ahead and program all keys. So I'm gonna hit OK, and then I'm gonna start this again. I'm gonna put the original key back in there. All right. So it's gonna verify that pin again. All right, key is in there. All right, so now the original key is programmed, and as of right now, that's the only key that's in the system. So I am gonna go ahead and remove that. Put the new key in and hit yes. All right, it tells us to put the key in the slot. That's what we just did. I'm gonna hit OK. And now we have two keys in the system. So I'm gonna hit OK. All right. vehicle starts up. Now we're not sure which key it picked up to actually start, but I'm just gonna go ahead and, all right. So that's the new key. Lock, unlock. Trunk popped. All right, panic function worked. That's the original key. Lock, unlock. Trunk released. And the panic went off. So what I always do is, you know, I test the keys one by one. So I'm gonna leave that key out there just as his original. All right, so it works. Proximity. So that one's good. So now I could go ahead and swap. And all right, so both of these keys are good to go. Now all we have to do is duplicate the emergency blade, and this job will be complete. All right, so we're back in the van. I have the original key blade there. I'm gonna put it inside my X-Horse key decoder. That way we can go ahead and read that blade. Now my SEC E9 key cut machine does have a decoding function. It's been having some issues where it's been breaking probes, so that's why I opt to use the X-Horse key decoder. And so what we're gonna do is in X-Horse we're gonna select, it's kind of hard to see, but we're gonna select this 66-bit in. It shows a picture of a high security key. So this blade, we all know it as the LXP90 Toyota blade. When I go into my key machine for 2014 Hyundai Sonata, it shows me that it's this high security blade. It does list HY22, Kia 7, Toyo 40. Toyo 40 is the LXP90. If you see down there under Elco, it does say LXP90, but it's a 6 on the top, 6 on the bottom. So in X-Horse, it's labeled as Kia 7. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do optical identification. We're gonna connect to the device. All right. So I usually do this on the phone that I'm recording on. That's why it's not automatically connected. And I might have to end up doing this with this phone anyways. All right, so let's do, all right, so there it's going through the identification. All right, so there it is. It gives us our cuts. So I'm gonna go ahead and input this. Let me see, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. All right, and then I can always hit progression. And generally this will come back with a valid key code. That's how I determine that what I decoded right. And then just go ahead and go ahead and cut. So it will do this for both sides of the key. Generally, I like to tell people to, you know, always test their original key prior to cutting the blade. You know, sometimes people have, you know, they had locks changed, or, you know, who knows what a situation. The lock could be jammed up and you think you did a bad cut because it won't turn into key. and it's an issue with the lock. So always try to check what you have. I'll go ahead and install this key, this emergency blade back into the original key. Alright, and then we're just going to cut the two sides of this, and our job will be complete. Alright, and this is the finished product with our new emergency blade cut. And we can lock and unlock. So we'll go ahead and put that in the new key and they will be good to go. Alright, LakelandCarKeys.com.